Oh, boys and girls, what a time to be alive. They said it would never happen. Good things like this should never happen to people like me. But it has happened. After 10 long years as a streamer, we have a biscuit sponsor. Come on! An actual biscuit sponsor. I mean, it's phenomenal stuff. What a time to be alive. We have an official stream biscuit, and we're going to be doing biscuit giveaways throughout the stream. And I, for one, am very excited about it. You are going to get to watch me eat a biscuit. We're going to talk about biscuits. I'm going to show you some biscuits. And if we get bored of biscuits, which frankly is unlikely, we might even play some Football Manager as well. Wow, what a time to be alive. And hello everybody, how are we doing? Thank you to Alex for 35 months as well, and DegZTM, who's done 3 months. Very much appreciated, both of you. We're just going to get straight into a YouTube intro and then crack on, I think. And then we've got to get into our first biscuit giveaway very, very soon. For anyone who has no idea what's going on, as you can see, this stream is sponsored by Pickup, who are a delicious biscuit. Delicious biscuit. More on them in a little while. But yeah. Oh. Exclamation mark Pickup in the chat if you're on Twitch. It's at the top of the description if you're on YouTube. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Yeah, you can win. You can win biscuit swag. My microphone has gone all saggy. Hold on. It's gone all saggy. There we go. Right. Let's I just need to remind myself what's going on in the save. And then we'll do a YouTube intro for Topher. Because he doesn't half whinge if we don't. Goodness me. Oh, I remember. Okay. I remember where we are. I remember. Well, boys and girls, after a little bit of an iffy start to the season, we've reverted back to the tactic that served us so well last year, and now we're winning again. The only problem is the tactic that was winning last year that we're now winning with again doesn't include our best player, which is probably problematic. Is it though? Does it matter that much? I'm not even so sure. Because it looks like the form that we were in towards the end of the last stream. If you missed the last stream, 'twas on Sunday, you could have watched the stream highlights on LOLLUJO Live over on YouTube, which, hello YouTube as well. I see you there in the chat as well. I do have a coffee. Of course I've got a coffee. I'm as if I'm going to eat biscuits without a coffee. Come on now. Who's got a match 76? Thank you very much for the prime. Lovely old stuff. But yeah, I think we're going to play one match and then get straight into our first biscuit giveaway. I'm not going to hide the biscuits from you, boys and girls. There's going to be biscuit talk throughout this stream, throughout the next couple of weeks. It's going to be all biscuits all the time, with a little bit of Football Manager here and there. But we will play this game against Blackpool first, and hopefully start moving ourselves up into the playoff race, and maybe even towards an automatic promotion spot. That would be the dream. We want to get out of this goose-darned league, don't we? Can we add biscuit ads to Football Manager? I mean, we can try. We can definitely try. Decaf? Do I look like a child? Decaf? It's proper coffee. Proper coffee. This is one of the 3 cups a day I'm allowed. Oh, lovely. Right, he's not happy that he's not in our... I mean, it's the 2nd of November. Has he only just noticed? I don't understand. It's the 2nd of November and he's just noticed he's not in the League One squad. How odd. What a strange boy. Just go away then. How do I promise to sell him? No, not a loan move. Yeah, new club. Thanks, I appreciate it. I mean, that was weird. Why is he only just noticed? Alfie Chang thinks he should be starting more games. Well, Garbett's not starting games at the moment, so you ain't going to be, are you? Because you're not as good as him. We signed you in a world... Yeah, you can go as well. We signed... Oh, that's not necessary. So why are you here then, Alfie? We signed him in a world where we were going to be playing 3 midfielders and now we're only playing 2. So obviously we're not going to be able to fit everybody in. That's just the way it was. Any more hot fixes today? I don't think there's been a hot fix today, has there? Unless I've missed it. I think we're due one this week at some point. They did say, I assume, because when they did the one last week, they said the next one was going to have the spacebar thing in it. So I kind of assumed that meant that would be relatively soon. So as far as I'm just going to check Steam. As far as I am aware, I've not had an update today. Not that I'd know if I had one, if it happened while I wasn't here. So if I go into my properties, updates, my last update was the 5th of November. So yeah, no hotfix today. I don't really know I mean, I guess it's just general bug fixes will be alongside the spacebar thing in the next one. I don't know if there's going to be any more quality of life stuff. Yeah, you can leave as well. I mean, if you don't want to be here, leave the club. It's very simple. Kelvin, thank you very much for the 3 months. Spacebar, aka the Kev update. I'm not bothered about the spacebar. I'm the least bothered person about that spacebar thing in the world. I'm completely used to not using it now. I just don't care. I know a lot of people are absolutely gagging for a bit of spacebar. I'm just not bothered. But it's coming. I just don't know when. Consoles had an update. Okay. So consoles had an update. So if you've been waiting for the chance to play on console, maybe now's your time. Is that all? What console are you on? Is that across the board? I don't know if they update at the same time. I assume they do. Need to do a matchday vlog at Telford. I mean, I'm not managing Telford. So probably not going to just yet. On PS5 there's been an update. Okay, cool. Well, that's good then. Anyone who's got it on console then, give it a little whirl. Let us know what you think. Is it better now than it was? I'm intrigued. I'm a man riddled with intrigue about how much better it is with the new patch. Heard that the coefficients are wrong and won't be fixed on time for the next update. I mean, we're managing in League One and in the other series, we're managing in the National League North. Doesn't matter to me yet. I'm sure it'll be fixed eventually. Everything that doesn't work will be fixed eventually. Right, let's play Blackpool and win a football match. Look at that beautiful selection of football boys. They're going to do extraordinary things together. Daniel Baker, thank you very much for the super chat. I went on beta update from Steam. Spacebar work. I'm not sure what you mean, Daniel. I think you're telling me you're on the Steam beta and you're waiting for the spacebar update, which isn't there yet, which, yeah. Absolutely. Right, boys and girls, one thing I have done. I've been fiddling with set pieces. We've got a near post meat men tactic, which is basically a replica of the one that we used in FM24. It is not working in Non-League to Legend. I am officially testing to see if that's because my players in that are useless in the air or not. So all eyes on Anderson, who is 6'4" and is someone who on FM24 I have had score a ton of goals for me using this tactic. So we're testing it with him to see if it's going to work or if we're going to have to come up with some fresh ideas for the new game. I hate fresh ideas. Let's go to the match and see if we can do a football, shall we? Do you know if they're adding in the history for clubs on 26, or is that a removed feature? I assume it'll be back. I mean, for a lot of this stuff, I don't know any more than you. I assume it'll be back because they've not confirmed that it's not. I don't think they've confirmed one way or the other, which suggests it's probably a bug rather than a feature. There's always going to be a little element of guesswork involved. Brummy Lego Lad, thank you for the super chat. Good evening, sir. I've downloaded your squad view from Steam Workshop, but I have no idea how to load it. A quick demo would be lovely if possible. I've been FMing for 30 plus years and love biscuits. You've got Lego in your username. You've been playing FM for 30 plus years and you love biscuits. Boys and girls, I've accidentally posted on my alt account and given myself a tenner. I will show you how to, if you remind me after this match, I'll show you how to get the squad view up and running. In the meantime, we have just done a football to kick things off. Who the hell is Fletcher? Should I know who he is? When did I sign him? I'm not sure. Bear with me. Who are you? Tyler Fletcher. Welcome aboard, Tyler. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he's Darren's son. What, Darren Ferguson? I don't know any other Darrens. Oh, is he Darren Fletcher's son? I've got there eventually. His brother also plays for the Man United youth team, and we signed his brother last year. What's his brother's name? Because I'm sure, is his brother Jack? Is that who we're talking about? Or am I thinking of someone else? Is there a different Jack Fletcher? Now YouTube are telling me he's the offspring of Stephen. There's too many Fletchers. Get an original name. His brother is Jack Fletcher. Yeah, so we signed Jack Fletcher at some point last year, possibly in non-league to legend. And now we've got Tyler Fletcher. How many more Fletchers are there? What a fertile man he must have been. all these footballing offspring. I don't have time to hang out. Just wanted to acknowledge Non-League to Legends is the only series that makes me want to play 26 right now. Wise words. For better or worse, you're making the best out of a less than ideal situation. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Glad you are enjoying it. And that is officially our position. We're making the best of the situation and we'll continue to do so. I have read the comments on the highlights videos on LOLLUJO Live, and we do perhaps need to tone down the whining about the game. That is as much my fault as it is your fault, but it's fine when we're chatting for 3 hours on a stream, but when it's edited together into YouTube highlights, it just sounds like we've spent the whole time whining. So we're going to do less whining. And I've said it over a goal, so that's now my commitment to everybody else. Harry Leonard's done a football. But yeah, we're just going to stop whinging now. No more whinging. Whinging's banned. Officially banned. I updated just through the beta update spacebar now works. Daniel, thank you for the additional super chat. I genuinely don't think it does. I mean, if it does for you, awesome. I don't think the spacebar update is out yet. Can anyone else confirm what Daniel's telling me on YouTube? I am confuddled. I did watch your Block Party channel for a few minutes before I even realised you were an FM guru. That's what I'm talking about. I don't cross-promote anywhere near enough. People think I'm the most business-minded man in Football Manager. I do not cross-promote my channels nearly enough. The amount of people who only know about one of my many channels. Right. We're winning 2-0. This is good stuff. Very good stuff. Spacebar works for me. I'm on laptop. Spacebar works. People have got spacebar working. Spacebar does work. When has this happened? What, as in it moves you to the next message in the inbox? I mean, it's always done that. If that's what, are we confusing ourselves? It's all the way through FM26. Spacebar has still been pause, but the new update that's coming out, the next update, is going to give it its old functionality back, where it's going to move you through the inbox as well. Maybe I've not been clear enough with what I'm asking. I'm confused. Because I've certainly not had an update. If there's an update, I've missed it. You can, yeah, you can definitely pause with spacebar. You've always been able to. That never went away. The only thing that went away as far as spacebar is concerned is moving through the inbox. So we've got some people saying it does work. Some people saying it doesn't work. I need to get out of this match. I'm so interested. I'm tempted to instant result this match that we're doing quite well in, at risk of losing, so that I can go and test for myself. But I'm going to be patient and I'm going to wait. We've only got 20 minutes to go. It will skip unread messages and continue, which I think is quite helpful. I agree. I like it doing that, but a lot of people don't like it doing that. But the next update is going to make that an optional thing. You can choose whether it will work the way it used to or the way it does now. You are not going to be forced one way or the other, which I think is the best outcome. Because a lot of people do quite like the fact that you don't have to read the nonsense messages anymore. Yeah, it looks like I've maybe not communicated very clearly. How do I select all players to rest them? Is there a shortcut? See, Fleming, this fascinates me because you've been around forever. You're a 74-month subscriber. You are a moderator. My instantaneous answer is the same way we always have. And it was only on a stream that I realised we haven't all always done it the same way. Hold down Shift and click the top and the bottom of the group that you want to do. I didn't know there were people out there who were dragging an invisible box over their players to highlight them all. I never knew that was a thing. If you just hold down Shift, you can highlight groups of players. That's how it's always worked. But I think you used to be able to drag over it, which you now can't. But yeah, let's test this inbox thing. So if it's working the way it used to work, I would press spacebar now and it would take me to that message. If it's working the way it now works, I'll press spacebar and it will continue. I think it's going to continue. Yeah, the update isn't here yet. So that's clarified that situation. Right, boys and girls, we are going to do the first biscuit giveaway. Is Topher here? Because Topher's biscuit admin. He's got to do all the biscuit business. He is here. Topher's here. Lovely stuff. Right. Where are we? Brace yourselves, boys and girls. There's sound effects and everything. It's very exciting. Right. I have got a bunch of Pickup biscuits. Stream is sponsored by Pickup, in case you hadn't realised, who make a delicious biscuit. And they're, as part of the sponsorship, they're giving some biscuits away. Now, I'm going to be starting a giveaway in a second. Before I do, allow me to read. The winner must be located in the UK. Only UK viewers are eligible to be sent Pickup. So if you're not in the UK, there's really no point. There's no point bothering to enter this because you ain't going to get it unless you're in the UK. But we are giving away. We're going to be doing a giveaway where we're going to pick 2 people in the UK out of the chat who will be sent a prize, which is 2 packs of Pickup sent to their address. 2 packs of Pickup sent to their address. Tip from me: don't let your dog get at them and rip the box apart as they come through the door. My dog's an idiot. I bought myself some fresh boxes so that they didn't get destroyed. But let's start the giveaway. Details of which will be in chat. So bear with me. Create and start. So I think this is only on Twitch, the giveaway part of it as well, by the way. Exclamation mark ticket in the chat and you will have a ticket to the giveaway. In the meantime, I'm going to eat a biscuit. Do you want to see me eat? Do you want to see me eat the choco and milk flavour, the original flavour, or the as yet unopened salted caramel flavour? Which flavour would you like to see me wrap my face around? no one, literally no one is going to be responding because you're all just typing ticket, aren't you? I mean, I'm going to try. I'm going to try and find one that Dave's not destroyed. Has that one still got structural integrity? We're going for this one. This is the original. And the wonderful thing about pickups, boys and girls, is that gonna focus on that? They are the new biscuit, ideal for gamers because they're a chocolate biscuit. They are a bit, again, Dave has dragged these around the house. They don't normally have this many crumbs fall off of them. But you have that big wedge of chocolate. Focus. But it lives inside the biscuit. So you don't get sticky brown fingers. No chocolate fingers here, boys and girls. You only have to touch the biscuit element of it, not the chocolate element. I could hold this for ages. Spacebar or no spacebar, I can just sit here holding this, minding my own business, letting the day pass me by, and I'm not going to end up with melty chocolate fingers at any point, which is phenomenal. I mean, look at me pretending I've not had one before. Ooh, let's taste it. I wonder what it's going to taste like. I'm a fat guy. Of course I know what these taste like. Goodness me. Oh, it's wonderful. I was doing a little bit of research earlier today to see what the procedure was, and I watched Second Yellow Card's version of this. He's such a polite young man, isn't he? I watched him eat his biscuit, and he was like, just nibble a little corner off. You're lucky you didn't just watch me swallow it whole. I am going to try dipping it. This might not, this isn't in the regulations, but I think it's got the structure. I think it can cope. Come on then. Oh. I've got to eat 3 of these on this stream. What a time to arrive. Oh, the biscuit alarm's gone off. The biscuit alarm. The giveaway is closed. Close giveaway. And let's get our winners. How do I get the winners out of this list? I don't know how. I've got the list. To draw winners, you must close the giveaway for new entries. I've done that. Oh, here we go. Right, we're drawing a winner. So, Topher, make a note of these. Let's go to display capture. So, our 2 winners are winner number 1. Is that working? I say again, winner number 1. Oh, it's put them in the chat. It hasn't told me. They're down here. So the 2 winners are down there in the chat. Jay Overman and Will's all the numbers. Topher will be in touch through the DMs to arrange your biscuit distribution, and we will do more biscuit giveaways later in the stream. Back to the Football Manager, boys and girls, and thank you to Pickup for sponsoring the stream. Exclamation mark Pickup in the chat, everybody. Exclamation Pickup in the chat. Oh, biscuits. I've got to have 2 more of them before bed. This is my kind of brand deal. I'm on board with this. All the way. That was delicious. Absolutely delicious. Oh. I'm tempted, before I do the next one, to make a cup of tea to try dunking it in that. I'm tempted to make a peppermint tea and try and dunk it in that. There's so much dunking potential. Right. What's this? Elliot Bonds. Who are you? Just everyone who's not playing, we're winning all of a sudden. If you're not playing, you're getting sold in January. I mean, it's as simple as that. If you don't want to be here, I don't want you here. We're up to 8th in the league. We're in a promotion race. If you don't want to be part of it, go and play for Cambridge. Goodness me. Jake, thank you very much for becoming a channel member on YouTube as well. I think that happened amongst all the commotion before. I think it is very much appreciated. Jake Rowell, that is now a channel member over on YouTube. What's my favourite tea? What, as in like a brand of tea? Or, I mean, dare I say on the internet I'm an Earl Grey man? Or does that just I want to I want to be a man of the people, but I do like an Earl Grey. So that maybe doesn't combine very well. But yeah, I like an Earl Grey. I'm also an Earl Grey man. There you go. We've got some sensible people in. At the moment, I've been drinking Donald Duck loose leaf Earl Grey tea from Disneyland because I got a little tin with Donald Duck on the side that was loose leaf Earl Grey. I didn't realise until I got home it was loose leaf. I had to buy one of those little things to put my tea in. It's like a metal reusable tea bag. So yeah, Jason Overman has just come back into the YouTube chat. I nipped over to Twitch, got some biscuits, then came back to YouTube. Good evening so far. That's incredible. I like that a lot. He wasn't even watching on Twitch. He's just got in there, got his biscuits and legged it. That's superb. Right, we're playing Sheffield Wednesday. Here we go. Oh, yes, squad view. Oh, I'm scum. Can we get back from here? I don't know that we can. Remind me after this match, I've got to show the squad view thing. I got so distracted with that delicious biscuit. After this match, I will show how to do the squad view thing. I'm such a silly goose. But I will show you after this match. That injury to Leonard, by the way, has got Garbett back in the team. So the entire stream title is now a nonsense. I hope he's not injured for long. Or else I've made an actual fool of myself with my stream title. Has anyone been offered a job in the game? I've done back-to-back promotions with Alfreton, won the Fat Cup and not had one yet. I've heard from people who have had job offers. I've not had one myself, but I've not gone more than, I think this is the furthest into a save that I've got. No, did we do 2 seasons with Arsenal? Yeah, we did 2. So that 2 seasons with Arsenal is the longest in an actual save I've got. And I was never offered a job in that, I don't think. I've not been offered a job in this. I've not been offered a job in Non-League Legend, but it's too early anyway. There you go. Several people have been offered lots of jobs. So job offers are a thing. Thinking back to previous Non-League to Legends, it's not unusual to do back-to-back promotions and not start getting the job offers until you're in League 2. That's certainly been a thing on more than one occasion in Non-League to Legend over the years. I think it's just unlikely to give you lots of job offers in that first couple of years. That's lovely work from Dembele. He's starting to look good again. I've had job offers from men's and women's teams. See, that's interesting. What kind of salaries are the women's teams offering you? Because that is an interesting direction Non-League to Legend could take. If we get an offer that I can't refuse from a women's team, my views are going to drop in half overnight, but it's going to be interesting for the save. Won the Champions League 3 years in a row, haven't been offered anything. I mean, I guess the counter argument to that is if you've won the Champions League 3 years in a row, you're already managing the best team. So who's going to offer you a job? I was offered Bayern Munich women's team job. Then 2 weeks later got offered the men's job. Interesting. I had a £21,500 a week job offer from Newcastle Women's Club. Who were you managing at the time? Because that's interesting. That's very interesting. Are people really that wangy that they wouldn't want to see how women's football is? Oh, yeah, absolutely they are. Of course they are. Luckily, my viewers aren't. It wouldn't stop me doing it. But every year, when the first time I change clubs, there's always a drop in viewers because it'll always be a club that somebody who's really into the series doesn't like. It's something that baffles me. I'll go and manage Spurs, and there'll be a bunch of Arsenal fans who are like, "Well, I can't watch this series now." And it's like, why? Why not? You know, it's a game, right? You're not going to catch anything. If there was any risk of catching something, I wouldn't be there. I don't want to catch Spurs. Can you? I can't think of anything worse. Someone's even making a men's only database talking about. I mean, you can already set it up as a men's only database. Just don't load the women's leagues. There's something wrong with some people. After 3 years at Hearts, I got offered Bayern, Dortmund, and Atletico men's, and then Lyon women's. Interesting. That is interesting. Were the men's teams offering more than the women's teams? Is there a men's club you would never manage on FM? Only 2. Oh, go on! How has he taken so long to get there and let the goalkeeper get back up? The only clubs I wouldn't manage are Rangers and Celtic because their fans are bonkers and I don't need that in my comments. There's no one I wouldn't manage because I don't like them. I've managed MK Dons, I've managed Cambridge, I've managed Northampton, I've managed Spurs, I've managed Man United. You know, I'll manage anyone. It's a game. If you join Exeter, I'll unsub and dislike. See, that's... I suspect you don't mean that. If you do, you understand you're mental, right? I mean, just to check, you know that's mental. Como is a great choice to manage, or AS Roma. They just produce boatloads of super talents. Nice. Not tuned into your streams for ages. Now back watching FM. Non-League Legend, yes, FM26 is what it is. But keep doing it. You're the best at it. That is, all of that is true. Thank you very much. Welcome. Welcome back. Ah, that's annoying. Especially from a non-League Legend alumni late on. EK Ugbo. We've managed him before. I'll manage anyone except Scunthorpe. Scunthorpe might actually be another team that I'd be wary of. Not because I've got anything against them personally. I'm just worried about getting demonetised. So I'd manage Cambridge. Yeah, no worries. It's a computer game. I mean, don't get me started on some of the things I've got up to in Grand Theft Auto. You would not believe it. Luha, thank you very much for 11 months. Why would they be demonetized? If you really think it through, you'll get there. I can't say. And no one can tell you because it'll be auto-modded. There we go. We got there in the end. Squad view. Yes. Right. It's super easy. It'll only take a second. So once you've subscribed to it on Steam Workshop, that should have automatically downloaded it and put it in the right folder. At which point, all you need to do to load it in-game is come to your squad view, right-click on... I don't know what I'm doing with my hand. Hello? Can you... Hello? Are you there? Yeah. Okay. So... right view on this line here where you've got all the headings, and then import view, and then it should take you straight to your folder that it's in, that Steam Workshop should have automatically put it in, and then you just click on it and click load and it will appear. Ta-da! Easy. Easy peasy. Right, who are we playing now? Why are we so frighteningly inconsistent? Where is Sheffield Wednesday in the league? Where they usually are. What's happened there then? Why have we lost that? Are we that desperate for Harry Leonard? Competition winners are all sorted. Lovely. We've just got a couple more of them over the course of the stream, Topher. Oh, that would be an interesting signing. Has he got a club? Yeah. Should we sign Danny Ings? Let's get him in on trial and see if he's any good. Because he is nearly as old as me. But I'm intrigued. I'm not in the Championship, no. Wow, straight in. Hello, Danny. Were you hanging out in Peterborough when you got the call? That's a remarkably quick turnaround. He wants to leave. Right, again, if you don't want to be here, get lost. Or that goes to all of you. Yeah, just leave then. Forget I said anything. Yeah, you come in here, giving it all that, I want to leave if you're not going to play me. And I say, well, you can leave then. And then all of a sudden you remember you quite like being able to pay your bills. Exactly. Right, Danny Ings is a well-travelled striker who is better than anyone else we've got. I think we're going to sign Danny Ings. And I don't see how it could possibly go wrong. In he comes. Now watch everyone else come in and make offers for him. Little something for Topher to slap on the thumbnail. Little treat for old Topher. I'm too good to that boy. Right. Meanwhile, we should look for players under 22 years old to help meet our club vision objectives. Yeah, I'm on board with that. Meanwhile, get me Danny Ings in. Can playing friendlies during the season generate money as I'm a small club? I mean, it can, but it'll also ruin your players because they'll be playing too much football. And I would consider it filthy cheating. Oh, it's only the Virtue Trophy. No one cares about it. You know what? We're gonna quit instant result it. We just don't care about it. We're instant resulting the Virtue Trophy against Brighton under 21s. Balls to it. Did we win or lose? How do I know? We've qualified for the next round. I guess we won. We lost on penalties, but have still qualified for the next round. I don't fully understand how this competition works. We drew in the league stage, then lost on a penalty shootout, and still qualified. Yeah, all right. I whatever. Whatever, it's fine. I don't mind. Right. Can we play a proper match? I need to get my win back. I want Danny Ings. Is Danny Ings in? Get Danny Ings in my football club. Can he play straight away if he signs, or do I have to wait until January to registerise him? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? We're just waiting for him now. I mean, it means Bojan will never play again, but we could sell Bojan for big money. Now, Danny Ings will be my super sub. Oh, he's coming in! He's coming in! Can we play him straight away is the question. I don't really want to be paying him for 6 weeks. Apparently he's fairly injury prone. Who knew? Osmotic Peel, thank you very much for the sub. I mean, we'll sign him and then we'll know for next time whether we can play him straight away, I guess. Thoughts on Luke Williams? Seems to have started well and apparently he can get a tune out of Lindgren. Yeah, I mean, I didn't see the game on Saturday because I was busy in Bedford. So I've not actually seen us play under him yet. But the results certainly seemed... Oh, we can maximum of 1 player is allowed to be registered. So we can register him, I think. Have we registered him? Where is he? So do we have to unregister somebody first? I think we do. Can we? Who do we want to unregister? I don't really know how this works. Undo. So can we unregister him? No. It said we could, maximum of one player allowed to be registered. But we're already full. So I think that probably is if we didn't, or if we weren't already full. Is that what that means? Because we can't unregister anybody who's already in. Can we release someone on a free and then register him? Who don't we want? Who are we willing to just sacrifice mid-season? Chris Clark. He is not happy about it. You can't see he's hiding behind the biscuits. He looks furious that I want to offer him out. He is very cross. He does not want his picture taking. Right, it looks like we can't register Danny Ings until January, which is a bit of a shame. We can give him a squad number, though. Where is he? I want to give him a special one. No, not 31. Do we have any numbers on here? 28 is how many grams are in a pickup. Is 28 available? No. Garbett's got 28. 5 is how many pickups you get in a box, but we've already given number 5. 140 is how many grams are in the box in total, but we can't go above 99. What year did pickups exist from? I need a number on my pickup box. This particular box was packed at 22:33. Cool, they work late into the evening. Sorry, 22:34. So it's 34 available. Yeah, there you go. You can be number 34 in tribute of this box of pickups being packed at 22:34. So there you go. We'll forever know that's where he got his squad number from. Barton, thank you very much for the sub. How many have I eaten? What, today? Only one. I knew I was going to have to eat 3 this evening, so I'm pacing myself. I've been rewatching the Leamington save on the artist formerly known as LOLLUJO 2, LOLLUJO Live, we call that. I'm wondering if pressing the like button makes any difference since it's 3 years old. I mean, yeah. Pressing the like button is always helpful. For example, if a 3-year-old video suddenly got 1,000 likes out of nowhere, it would start getting recommended to people again. YouTube don't care how old a video is. If people are reacting with it and watching adverts on it and getting watch time on it, then they'll recommend it. It doesn't matter how old it is. That's why sometimes you get weird old videos appear in your recommendations, because they've had a little burst of people watching them. So they're like, well, let's keep pushing it out. And then if people are like, oh wow, I haven't seen this for ages, it can lead to stuff re-emerging. That's why it's helpful to have an extensive back catalogue such as mine. It doesn't happen so much in Football Manager, obviously, because who wants to watch an FM19 video now? But certainly on the vlog channel, I get stuff hit recommended again from like 6, 7, 8 years ago. Just loops back round. It's like, oh, this is getting pushed out again. And you'll get a little burst of thousands of views because YouTube, for whatever reason, have decided to start pushing it out again. Football! Lovely. King Bad Bod, thank you very much for the 7 months. I watched an old vlog from 8 years ago yesterday. Was it recommended to you by YouTube or did you go looking for it? I think I've watched the walkout episode from Leamington thousands of times. Thank you very much for paying for my car. I was on your channel, so it doesn't count. Boo. What's happened here? Celtic fan here. Triggered M8. Oh no. Not triggered M8. I just started the Bedford videos. It's how I found you. Lovely stuff. What was... I think the Turn This Ship Around song came out of the Streamer Showdown, didn't it? I was recommended a baking channel on YouTube. Never watched a baking video. Now I've subbed. Yeah, the YouTube algorithm is a fascinating thing. It's not quite as good as the TikTok algorithm. The TikTok algorithm is sensational. But the YouTube algorithm is pretty good. Numpty Defiler. Thank you very much for 12 months. Officially, the best year of your life. Why is it some players can continue developing past 24 years and some players stop completely at 23? Ask Evolution. So, I mean, that's how it is, isn't it? It's how it is in real life. Don't make me talk about Jamie Vardy or Ian Wright or whoever else. We don't need to make it a whole thing, surely. We're losing now, which is not ideal. Can't find the skip button. There we go. I feel a cold pizza speech brewing. I love a cold pizza. Wayne Rooney was at his best in his early 20s. I'm convinced Wayne Rooney lied about his age and still does. I refuse to believe Wayne Rooney is younger than I am. I just won't have it. I won't accept that Wayne Rooney is younger than Cristiano Ronaldo. It's just... stand them side by side. Stand that man next to me. Wayne Rooney is not younger than me. I will not accept it. So yeah, he's just lied about his age. When he was in his early 20s, he was actually 33. People laughed at him for the granny thing when he was a teenager. He went to school with her. His hair is younger. Is it younger or is it just peeled off his back and stuck to the top of his head? Made his debut for Everton at 32. Exactly. Now you get it. I'm younger than you, but look 10 years older. You're the freak in this. I don't mind being that kind of freak. I accept that. If Anna only let me dye my beard. I even bought the dye and she confiscated it and said, no, that is not allowed. But yeah, there's no way Wayne... What is Rooney, like 38, 39? Why won't she let me dye my beard? Because I'll look stupid. Which is a fair point. I did buy black beard dye. Basically, I've left it too long. If I'd have started dyeing it when it started to go grey, I might have got away with it. Both in terms of sneaking it past you lot and Anna not telling me I was ridiculous. But the fact that I've waited until it's very clearly grey at the front. If just one day I wake up and, oh, the grey went, the grey's gone away. It's just obvious I'm dyeing it. And then that's just a little bit try-hardy. Rooney's 40. See, that's... not a chance. That man is in his 50s. Right. We're losing again. Kev wants to become Blackbeard. I think it was just I I went on Amazon and just typed in beard dye, and that was the one they sent me. I didn't put as much thought and research into it as in retrospect I maybe could have done. Yeah, my beard is officially growing old gracefully. I'm going to continue covering my face in chemicals to try and stop wrinkles, but I'll let my beard go grey and my hair go grey. My face, I'm going to continue trying to iron straight. There you go. We're swapping everyone. Embrace the grey. My hair started going silver in my 20s. Okay. I mean, I am. I've not dyed it. I've let it get to this point. I've reached the point of no return with it, I think. When I've got a completely white beard and hair when I'm like 45, then we'll see, I guess. Because it has happened remarkably quickly, this bit at the front. It's gone from not really having any grey in it at all to really obviously reverse Hulk Hogan in 2 years. Come on then. And I've noticed there is a little bit of grey starting to appear at the front here. I'll keep trimming the sides so you can't tell. But we did a goal. It's Anna's fault you had no grey hair before. I mean, to be fair, I was 29 when I met Anna. Right, we are going to win the next game. At least we got a goal. We got a goal back. We did an equaliser. I'm 31 and have a ball patch. Yeah, to be fair, I'd rather be grey and hairy than hairless. So, pick my battles. It's a privilege to go grey. Triple H would love the opportunity to go grey. A beard dye sponsorship seems the obvious way in there. Yeah, we'll see. If Just for Men are watching, you do need to go through my agent, and she has said no. We signed too many players in the summer, and they all want to leave. Who signed all these players on important player contracts? Because that feels like a mistake that may be having an adverse effect on dynamics at this point. Off topic, just wanted to tell you Gamfi is 6 foot in FM24. I think he's just one of those players that isn't properly researched, so he doesn't have a height. So when you load up the game, it just generates in one. Will Bedford be in this save? Don't know why I'm pushing my microphone away. Oh, we've got a type. Let's get rid of the microphone. He might be in this. We can see how tall he is in this save. I don't think it's an FM24, an FM26 hard-coded thing. Oh, he's not there. Is that because they released him? How do you spell his name? Gamfi. No, he's not any of that. Oh, hold on. See you all. He's not any of them, is he? Is he on... How do we... Is this me or them? Can we look at their transfer history? Maybe. We can look at their loans. Why would we be able to look at their loans and not their transfers? What a strange thing to be able to... no, that's now my squad. Never mind. But I suspect he's a different height. If you all looked him up in your game, I suspect he's a different height in all of them, because I suspect it's just a generated height and it's just made him 6'5", which has made him the man he is. Jamie, thank you very much for 3 months. Instead of backdoor Kev, it's Botox Kev. I've never had Botox. I do use Anna's red light therapy mask thing every night. And I spend a lot of money on moisturisers, but I've never had Botox. I feel like Botox is one of those things that once you start, you just have to keep paying for forever. And it probably becomes very expensive. So I'm not quite that desperate to maintain my youth. But I'll continue to moisturise like a maniac. He's 6'2" in David's save. Yeah, there you go. So he's different heights and different saves. It's just a generated height. When you first started YouTube, you're a teacher. Do you ever think, I can't believe how far I've come? Literally, I'm playing the game you love and supporting your family. Would it be arrogant to say this was always the plan? I mean, obviously, I am very fortunate to have started when I did. Right, Bojan's injured. He's fractured his collarbone. Now we do need Ings. I mean, obviously, I did start it with this in mind. I've done daily content from the day I first started YouTube. I've done a video every day, even whilst being a teacher. So it was always with a view to make it a full-time thing. I didn't expect it to happen as quickly as it did, and it's probably gone better than I hoped it would. But it was done with the plan to become full-time eventually. That was the goal. Do I use sun cream daily? My moisturiser has sun cream in, yeah. Factor 50 everywhere I go, forever. Yeah, I've been using Factor 50 every day since my 20s. Or no, Factor 50 when I go out. Just whatever's in my moisturiser every day. Got to look after the skin. Don't want to look like a wrinkly old prune. What's the best way to find players at Enterprise North-South level? You're not going to want to hear it. It's your scouts. Get your scouts out there doing their thing. You just have to be patient. Right, we're playing Lincoln. And Hugill's starting up front. Yeah, if you're young and you want to look young when you're old, sunscreen. Don't go sunbathing. Don't go out in the sun without sunscreen and a hat on. And moisturise every day. Don't wait until you're already getting old. Then it's too late. You can't reverse the damage you've already done, but you can minimise the damage before it happens. And most wrinkles are just sun damage. Powdering. I noticed I was a bit shiny. Was the Lego channel always in the plan or recent? I mean, it wasn't in the plan 3-4 years ago. But again, it was started with a plan. It was started very strategically. If you go back and check the receipts, I started the Lego channel at the first inkling that there might be trouble at Football Manager. When I first started talking about how it would be a disaster if they postponed the game, cancelled the game, around about the same time, I conveniently started an additional channel. Very strategically, and hurled myself into it immediately. Backup plan Kev. What moisturiser do I use? I've got lots. At the moment, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. I bought a load on Prime Day. I want to say it's L'Oreal. But I can't know. I don't know for sure. I think there's some Nivea. This is really good for the YouTube video as well. I use like a serum and then a moisturizer in the morning. And then I've got some, is it retinol drop stuff? And then the moisturizer that I use in the evening after the red light therapy. So, yeah. I go at it hard. Would I recommend using recruitment focuses? Yes. Don't know if you responded to my text got sent to an ad, but what's your thoughts on separate version of PC and console next game? I mean, it's separate versions this game as well. It's always been separate versions. They're not going to be able to completely rebuild the UI again in a year, if that's what you're asking. Like it or not, this is the direction they're in for a while now. But yeah, there's already separate versions. I think there'll probably be more customization and more of a difference between the two for 27 because they'll have more time to tweak and fiddle. But yeah, they're still going to be built in the same engine. There was a hydrate and a posture. Well, there's your posture. I'm drinking the last of my cold coffee. Lovely stuff. Red light therapy sounds like an adult travel blog. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. What's been my favourite FM Championship Manager game you've ever played? Probably FM24. Previously, the answer has always been the current one. But yeah, 24 was probably... I mean, this isn't as good as 24 yet. It might end up being this once the bugs are fixed and all the features are in. But yeah, 24. I'm dribbling everywhere now. Drooling at the thought of my next pickup. Here we go. Football. Maybe Hugo can stay. Maybe Bojan's done and Hugo's the guy. This is 3 goals since the Bojan injury towards the end of the last game. He seems like he's quite good. He's not really had a chance. Now he's got a chance. We didn't need Danny Ings. Keeper's had a shocker. It's good attacking play. Any freebie pickup incoming for us? Absolutely there is. We've already given 2 packs away. There'll be another 2 packs within the next 20 minutes, half hour or so. We've got 4 more packs to give away this evening. But yeah, there'll be more coming. Don't you worry. There's more on the way. There's always more on the way. Apart from, I guess, when we get to the last one in like 2 weeks. Then there won't be more on the way. Just joined the stream. Which is my favourite? I've not tried every flavour. I've only had these 2. I've had the Choco and Milk and the original. I think Choco and Milk was probably better than original, I think. I suspect my favourite's going to be the salted caramel, which is over there. Is it salted caramel? No. Yeah, it is salted caramel. I like a salted caramel item. So I suspect that one's going to be my favourite. But I've not had it yet. Do I have dark chocolate? I don't have any dark chocolate, no. I need to get some. I need to head to Sainsbury's, where they're currently £1.25 on a Nectar price deal. Exclamation mark pickup in the chat. I do like dark chocolate as well, so I'll have to see if I can grab some dark chocolate ones. But yeah, I suspect salted caramel is going to be a delight. I saw a comment, you may be seeing it too, but in Non-Lethal Legend, could your manager reach out to an estate agent and you do house tours in real life? Or is that too far-fetched? It's not that it's too far-fetched, it's that it's wasting their time and invading someone's privacy for no reason. Especially in the flat. I mean, it's a bit different if it's an open house, I guess, if it's an empty house. But the majority of stuff that we see on Rightmove has got existing owners or tenants living in it. I don't want to be invading somebody's house, making a silly YouTube video where I've got no intention of actually buying their house. That's not cool. If when we are managing a Premier League club, if an estate agent wants to do a sponsorship kind of thing, where we go and walk around an empty mansion and try the jacuzzi and the pool and the cinema room and film all of that, I'm up for that as a sponsorship thing. But yeah, I'm not. This is a disaster, by the way. We were 2-0 up. But yeah, I don't think marching around the house while the tenants are in there with a camera and sticking their underpants on YouTube is a particularly nice thing to do. That's not ideal. Did the video pay for my chicken dinner? Yeah, I should think so. It wouldn't have to get a huge number of views to pay for a chicken dinner. We've not won in 5 matches. Are we going to have to change the tactic again? You'd have to have a chair counter in the top corner. I mean, I think just looking around them on Rightmove is fine. Like I say, I'm not against going and do it, because if we're doing it in a mansion, it's a more interesting video than just poking around a 1-bed flat, which you only want to see that because of how awkward it would be. Whereas I think messing around in a mansion I could never live in, that would be fun for the video. And I think it becomes mutually beneficial because we get to make a fun video and they get some free promotion for their £5 million listing on the internet. So yeah, maybe it's something. But then how likely are estate agents and people who own those kind of houses, how likely are they to understand the benefit that they'd potentially have? If anything, I'd be more likely to have them try and charge us for the pleasure rather than understand that it's free advertising. So, yeah, it probably won't ever happen. Maybe we'll fake it and just do some Airbnbs or something. I mean, that's a potential way to do it. Just completely fake it with an Airbnb. But that starts to become budget. And I don't know that we've got the budget for those kind of shenanigans just yet. I think SFM, you have to tweak tactics according to the team you're playing. My Arsenal save and non-league to legend beg to differ. I just don't think this is a very good team. I think it's a pretty poor squad of players. Still, even though I've spent a lot of money on it, there's still a lot of the originals here, and I just don't think they're very good. Why? Why would we play him there? Where's Hugo? Is he injured as well now? Oh, for goodness sake, he's injured as well. We're running out of strikers. Can anyone play up front? Or tax write-off? I mean, it's all tax write-offs, but... oh, do we have to? Just because something's a tax write-off doesn't mean it's free. Almost everything I buy is a tax write-off. None of it's free. It just means it ends up a little bit cheaper overall a year and a half down the line. Well, I don't have to pay tax on that amount. Has anyone noticed if job offers are better than they were at the start of FM24? We've talked about it. Apparently there are plenty to be had. Have I managed to rebuild my winter village sets yet? Not yet. I've been busy. Maybe release one of the injured players and see if you can register strings. I don't think we're going to be able to release a player because of how much it would cost to do. I don't think we're going to be able to just cancel a contract randomly. First time playing this since the beta. I've been playing for 30 years and this is taking some getting used to. I mean, you've kind of provided your own help there in your question. It is just going to take some getting used to. You'll be all right. A lot of the bugs are gone. More will be gone soon. The rest of it is just going to take some getting used to. All you can do is play and get used to it. I've got tutorial series, but if you've been playing for 30 years, you probably don't need them. You just need to get used to it. I keep getting a critical failure of the game when I go to the subs and add a tab to see player positions. It just crashes out. I mean, it's not ideal, but I would suggest for now just stop doing that. And then try again after the next patch. If you know that's consistently crashing the game for you, just don't do it. It's not going to spontaneously fix itself. Report it as a bug. Then don't do that. I mean, I have never felt the need to do that. Oh, yeah, I agree. It sucks. And then just try it again after the next patch. And if it's still not fixed, register it as a bug again. And eventually it will get fixed. None of stuff like that is not a uniquely FM26 thing. I had an ongoing, very frustrating bug for the first 6 months of FM24 that had a huge impact on my videos, never mind me playing the game, with that stupid alien invasion graphical glitch thing that people in my comments were literally complaining it was giving them fits. And that took 6 months to sort. So yeah, it's not a uniquely FM26 thing. It's just FM things, just game things, I think, in 2025. Getting players in a starting LLM is very hard in this version. Not once. I mean, right at the start, yeah. But again, I would suggest if you're playing full like LLM rules, lower league management, the old llama rules from the forums from years ago, which is basically non-lethal legend rules, you shouldn't be going into a club and signing 8 players before you've played your first match. You should be largely making do with what you've got for the first season, because you're not going to have loads of spare budget. It's kind of enhancing the realism. I like the fact that they've taken the director of football recommendations away, even though I used them all the time, because they were overpowered and not realistic. Now you have to actually work for your scouting and wait for your scouting. And having now done most of a season of non-lethal legend, we've signed plenty of players. We just didn't sign them all up front because it took a while to start building up that scouting pool. I think that's better. It's made it more realistic in terms of how I play the game, which is what LLM is all about, realism. The wages they ask are so high. Are they? I haven't necessarily noticed that they're consistently high. Some players ask for too much money. Without wishing to seem facetious, don't sign those ones. I would argue transfer room in is much more powerful than director of football recommendation. It depends what kind of transfers you're looking for. If you're looking for a specific player, you said before you were managing Barcelona, if you're looking for a specific type of player for Barcelona, yeah, it's much more powerful. If you're trying to get a list of players available for a free transfer in the National League South, you can't specify to that degree on transfer room in. You can't ask for unattached players or free transfers. All you can do is ask for left backs and it'll recommend you 3 that have already got clubs. So it's much less useful for that. Have I won 5 in a row tonight? I've won 1 match all evening. We won that game We've not won since. So no, I have not won 5 in a row. I've done a whole off season, improved my team in League 2 much better than before. Yeah. I think I agree with that. I've been playing a non-interloading style save, and I think it's actually easier to find cheap free transfers. The bigger problem is getting players to sign part-time contracts rather than non-contract. I don't think it is. I think that works. I've done that a couple of times. I think it's exactly the same system I used previously. Maybe I was doing it differently to you, but when you have a player who wants non-contract, in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, it shows you what the weekly impact that has on your wage budget is. If you then force them to do part-time and offer them as their weekly salary that number, then they sign every time. I've not had anyone turn that down. And that's how I did it in 24 as well. That's how I've done it for years. And it still works the same. Maybe you're not offering them enough money. I created requirements by position on 1st of July and it was all free players. Sounds like you've lucked out. It's not guaranteed to be, but it's good to know that you can get free transfers that way. Right, let's beat Doncaster and then it might be time for another biscuit. I love the fact that I get to eat multiple biscuits. And if Anna tells me I shouldn't be eating 3 biscuits in 3 hours, I'll refer her to the contract our company has signed where I commit to eating a biscuit an hour. I mean, legally, they could sue me if I don't eat these biscuits. So, guess I got to. I don't want to get sued. Which, of course, means if I'm eating a biscuit, we're going to be giving some more biscuits away. So, brace yourselves for that, boys and girls. If you're in the UK, get your biscuit fingers ready. What is going on? What if you just have half the biscuit each time? I don't want to. I want to eat the whole biscuit. Half a biscuit each time. What do you think this is? There you go. That's me hydrating. Any news on the network game? Do they even work on FM26? They do not. You're not very good at this, are you, Kev? I'm very good at it. We're just not a very good team. Remember, we get like this when we have runs of bad form. I will remind you all, the club vision is finished mid-table, and that's exactly where we are. So the season is going exactly to plan. So, yeah, we're going exactly as well or as badly as we're supposed to. It's the best thing about playing FM the way I play it. You don't just win every game all the time, which is boring. I could, if I wanted to, try and min-max everything and be a nerd. My counter-argument to that is, where are they finding any fun in that? Because if I actually tried, if I actually min-maxed everything and went into great detail on the analytics and the tactics and the stats and all of that, there's no excuse for ever signing a bad player or losing a game. I would just win every game and win the Champions League in 6 years from starting with Bedford. So I don't want to do that. That's really boring. I like the fact that sometimes we'll go 6 games without a win. This isn't good, though. This is not ideal. I mean, we're probably going to have to switch tactics again. The problem we've got as well at the moment, which is worth remembering, we don't actually have a fit striker at the club. So we are trying to play a system that we do not have players for. I'm not going to mess around and try and do a match engine breaking strikerless system. So we've not got a fit striker. So expect us to be a bit rough. Am I still allowed a biscuit if I don't win? Legally, I have to have a biscuit. Has Posh's recruitment not been up to scratch in real life? It's not that the recruitment's not up to scratch. It's more the world has moved on. And previously, us having a millionaire owner who could write... the joke was always he had a checkbook full of £250,000 checks. And, you know, we'd just write the name of the club in and hand them one of the £250,000 checks and take their best player. And that worked 10 years ago when... being a millionaire was a lot of money as a League One owner, and £250,000 was a big transfer for a League Two or a conference team. We're now playing in a league where Birmingham spent £16 million on a player last season in League One. And there are multiple clubs with billionaire owners, not millionaire owners. And it's not that our recruitment has got worse. It's more that the footballing world has financially moved on from where we are and where our owner is. And because we're a club who insist on living within their means and not going into debt, the quality that we can bring in for the price we're able to pay has decreased. And it's just one of those things. Yeah, Birmingham and Wrexham ruined it for everybody. There you go. We're back in it, boys and girls. It's 2-2. And we are still picking up decent players and making decent profits. It's just there's not as many of them. And sometimes they're costing a little bit more. And then you feel it more when you're spending 750,000 and they're a flop than you felt it when they were 250,000 and they were a flop. Ryan Reynolds is only worth 350 million. I imagine Darragh McAntony's worth about 20 million. He's considerably richer than our chairman. I don't agree with Wrexham, but they've been very shrewd in their transfer business. I think we have very different definitions of the word shrewd. They were in the National League and signed... Was he League One's top scorer at the time? Or League Two's top scorer? Whatever league Cambridge were in, when Matey was banging in goals for him. And they trebled his money and made him go and play, and to get him to go and play non-league. That's not shrewd. That's just buying success. Paul Mullin, yeah, that guy. He dropped down 2 leagues and trebled his salary. There's nothing shrewd about that. That's Fulham signing Ronaldo. Good business. It's not good business. It's buying success. Good business would be buying someone on the cheap and paying them a normal National League salary and them getting 30 goals a season. He was being paid championship money as a League One quality player to play in the National League. Oh, it was great business for Mullin, yeah. Can't begrudge him going at all. But it wasn't good business for Wrexham. But they could afford to do bad business. They weren't interested in good business. They just wanted to buy immediate success, and it worked. That's not good business, though. Happy with League One obscurity for a few years then. What, me? Are we talking about in-game or in real life? In real life, I'm happy with Posh being a League One team for the rest of my life. That would be fantastic. I'm absolutely fine with that. It's where it's still higher up the pyramid than we should be. We're a League Two team. who are still enjoying being in League One. And we've had a few seasons flirting with the Championship. But yeah, I'm not one of these delusional football fans who's like, I really want my tiny team to get to the Premier League and collapse financially as a result when we finally get relegated. Balls to that. I want my team to exist. Every year we should sell our 3 best players, gamble on some youngsters to try and replace them, and try not to get relegated. And if we ever have a season or two where we're doing better than that, enjoy it while it happens. But the default state should be League One relegation battle for a club the size of Posh. So yeah, I'm quite happy with League One obscurity because I'm not a Twitter football fan. I'm an actual football fan. Do you think Bournemouth will collapse financially when they get relegated? Yeah. I mean, they didn't collapse completely last time, did they? But eventually they will. Eventually their owners will pull out because they're not sustainable. And we've seen it a million times before. With these traditionally small clubs who have a lot of money thrown at them, enjoy a period of success that's sometimes quite long, but then either they get relegated and it collapses, or the owner pulls out and it collapses. You just have to look at Wigan, Portsmouth, Bolton, Reading. I mean, the list is long. I don't know. Bradford. Many more, I imagine. Derby. Yeah, Derby are another good example. Charlton, did I say them before? Blackburn. Yeah. I'm sure it's fun for a few years being an unsustainable team that's bankrolled by a rich owner or a fluky promotion. But it doesn't last forever. Luton. See, Luton's a weird one because Luton didn't really throw a load of money around to get to the Premier League. They kind of got promoted by mistake. And then they didn't throw a lot of money around while they were there either. And they did get to the Premier League like 6 years after they were in non-league. Luton just are mental. But yeah, there's such a long list of clubs who've... And Bournemouth, yeah, obviously Bournemouth. I remember Bournemouth almost getting relegated from the Football League not that long ago. So obviously Bournemouth are not going to be up there forever. But I'm sure they're having a lovely time at the moment. But I don't want that for my club. I would much rather Posh just continued to exist, stayed at our level forever. I don't want that risk of it all falling apart. Not interested. I'll be quite happy to just stay in League One forever. If that means we exist forever. Because I've seen too many clubs just completely cease to exist or disappear down into non-league. I mean, you just have to look at the National League in game to see how many former Football League teams there are. Hold on. How do we get to the National League in FM26? Oh, we haven't got them loaded. That's why. Oh, there you go. We can look on here. But I remember them in the Premier League. I remember them in the Championship. I remember them in the Championship. League One. League One. League One. League One. You know, it must be rubbish to be Oldham or Yeovil or Scunthorpe and have fallen that far. There you go. Let's drop another league down. Kidderminster, I remember being League One, I think. Macclesfield were in the Football League not long ago. So were Chester, Boston. And then let's look at the South as well. And this is not to mention the teams that have just stopped existing. Dagenham got as high as League One, I think. That might be it from them. And then there's clubs like Bury who just stopped existing altogether. I don't want that. And most of those clubs are no smaller than Posh. Do you not think a season for Posh in non-league would be fun? No, because there's no guarantee you come back from it. You can get stuck down there forever. Yeah, I don't want that. I've got to eat a biscuit now and you've made me sad just at the thought of Posh collapsing. Brighton are an example of the players not being the star, but the scouting network is the star. Brighton are another example of when their owners pull out, they'll go back where they came from. Brighton are a perfect example of being propped up by a rich owner and a certain way of doing things. We'll all see Brighton back in League One in our lifetimes. They're just not a big enough club to self-sustain in the Premier League long term. Yeah, they're doing things right now, but that owner won't be there forever. Do I go to many Posh away games? No. I don't hardly go to home games these days. I watch almost every match from the comfort of my chair, but I don't live in Peterborough anymore, so I don't get over there very often. The last 2 Posh games I've been to in person were both at Wembley. Right. Again, we don't care about the Virtue Trophy. Right. I think it's biscuit o'clock, boys and girls. More importantly, it's biscuit o'clock. Right. Time for another biscuit giveaway. The stream, of course, is sponsored by Pickup. Thank you very much for sponsoring. I think we're going to try one of the salted caramel ones. But first, let's get another giveaway going. Let's do a new giveaway. Pickup giveaway. Maximum 1 ticket per person. There you go. Exclamation mark ticket in the chat. Only on Twitch. If you want to enter the giveaway, you need to be on Twitch, and it is only available if you are in the UK. If you're not in the UK, don't enter. You can't win. But we're going to try a salted caramel one now, which sounds delicious. I love salted caramel. And as we were saying before, absolutely perfect for gaming, because the delicious salted caramel chocolatey bit is enclosed within the 2 biscuits, so you don't get sticky fingers. And worth remembering, at the moment in Sainsbury's, they are on a Nectar sale price, down at £1.25 on a discount with your Nectar card in Sainsbury's. And if you do go to Sainsbury's and buy some, you can then put exclamation mark pickup in the chat, then upload your receipt, and you can potentially win some pickup swag as well. But let's oh, the saltiness. Oh, the salt actually does come through. Oh yeah, this one's my new favourite. That's really good. I am a big fan of this. If you haven't yet entered the giveaway, for goodness sake, enter the giveaway. You want to get your face around some of these. Get yourself over to Twitch, and then exclamation mark ticket in the chat. And if you're in the UK and you are one of the winners, there's only 52 people have entered right now, so you've got a 2% chance of, no, 4%, because there's 2 winners. You got a pretty good chance of winning yourself some pickups. So get over to Twitch if you're watching on YouTube. These are really nice. Oh. Oh, lovely old stuff. Now I want to enter it to screw it up by not being from the UK. When it won't screw it up, you just won't get sent any biscuits. If anything, you're saving the company money because they don't have to give anything out for free then. You're just robbing the biscuits off of somebody who could have got them for free. So don't do that. If you're not in the UK, don't enter. I should probably mute the stream. These sound delicious, and once again, I'm very angry about Brexit. Oh dear. Oh dear me. Right, giveaway time. The biscuit klaxon has sounded. I assume there's a klaxon. I've not got headphones on. But let's pick our 2 winners. So we're closing the giveaway and picking 2 winners once again. So how do we... So there's your first winner is Bremen. And second winner is Dr. Gav. Topher will be in touch in your DMs with the link where you can claim your pickups. And we'll be giving 2 more. I think each person wins 2 boxes. 2 more bunches of biscuits away before the end of the stream. Within the next hour, hour and a bit, we'll do 1 more of these. But for now, back to the Football Manager. That was a really nice biscuit. I guess I have to now have the 3rd one on the 3rd sponsored segment. And then for the next stream, I need to get some of the other flavours, because there are other flavours as well. I need to get myself down to Sainsbury's with £1.25 burning a hole in my pocket to get myself some more biscuits. I think we're going to celebrate me having my 2nd biscuit of the evening by winning an FA Cup game against Plymouth. I think. Do you think Sunderland can be in the Premier League long term if they get Champions League this season, or do you think they'll collapse? I mean, any club that's not like one of the traditional big 6 could collapse at any time. They just need one bad owner. The only ones that are truly immune to it are the huge global brand ones. And there's not many of them. Anyone else with the wrong owners can easily collapse. I mean, Sunderland have just spent how many years outside of the Premier League? To suggest that they're now too big to go back down again is madness. The Big 6 doesn't exist. I mean, it literally does, though. It might not mean they're the best 6 teams on the pitch at all times, but there's certainly, I would say, that traditional Big 6 is the big global brand 6. Man United, Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Spurs, Liverpool. They are a Big 6. They're the ones who are long-term sustainable. Even if you don't want to believe that Man City or Chelsea are. Because they kind of are. United aren't part of the Big 6 anymore. They are, because it's nothing to do with how good they are on the pitch. They're a massive global brand. Right. Oh, it's only the FA Cup, so we're not... Danny Ings can play because it's the FA Cup. Oh, here we go, boys and girls. It's Danny Ings o'clock. Yeah, I'm saying Big 6, not top 6. Big 6, not top 6. Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United and Liverpool are the only fully sustainable teams. Man City are now. Who have you missed out? Spurs. Spurs have got the best ground in the country. They do NFL and concerts and all sorts there. That's made them sustainable. And Man City have invested more money in infrastructure than they have in players, and they've spent a lot on players. As do West Ham. West Ham don't own their stadium. Yeah, Man City have become sustainable because they've spent their money well. They spent an awful lot of money to get to this point, but now they're there. The commercial 6. Yeah, that's literally what we're talking about. Which ones are sustainable as businesses? The ones that are the 6 big global brand businesses. I'm not saying they're the 6 best teams. They're the only ones who don't need to forever live in fear of a relegation that could ruin them. Like, any one of those 6 could weather a relegation. If any of those 6 had a terrible season and got relegated, they come straight back up and they're fine. And they're back in the Champions League in 3 years. Any other of the 14 teams in the Premier League get relegated, and who knows when they'll be back. That's how you decide if they're Big 6 or not. Everton have a brand new stadium and are about as good as Tottenham, about as global as well. Yeah, the difference is, though, Everton's stadium is in Liverpool, not in London. Once Beyonce starts playing at the Everton stadium, then they become part of that conversation. Until then, Spurs benefit from their stadium being in London. It's not just that it's a new stadium. And obviously the Spurs stadium is much bigger and much better. Everton have built a really good football stadium. Spurs built an incredible multi-purpose stadium, which, as much as it frustrates me having been there, it is an incredible facility. I can't believe I'm defending Spurs. This is what it's come to. Danny Ings is rubbish. He's just missed. What a waste. I reckon Kev's just a Spurs fan. Ah, goodness me. Once again, I'm just talking sense and people don't like it. People get too emotional about it. I'm quite capable of detaching myself from it all. We're talking about teams on terms of trophies. Liverpool are the best team in England. But you must know, if you've listened to any of what I've said for the last 10 minutes, you must know that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about trophies at all. Trophies aren't at all relevant to it. We're talking about how sustainable the club is if they were to get relegated, if they were to fall out of the Champions League, if their owners were to pull out. And there are 6 clubs where none of that would matter and they would be fine. And that's it. Which, to go back to what we were talking about, is why, as a Peterborough fan, I'm quite happy just being in League One. I don't want to be any part of that nonsense. Thanks. I'm happy where I am, knowing that my club continues to exist. The commercial viability of a football club depends on which part of the country they're from. That's why it's a struggle for a team like Newcastle. Yeah, definitely. That's a big part of it. It's a huge advantage being in London or Manchester. Just like it is for any business. That's not a uniquely football thing. Don't Newcastle sell out their stadium every game? Yeah, they did in the Championship as well. On the multiple occasions they've been down there just in my lifetime. Selling out your stadium is not in it. Their stadium, their gate receipts do not cover their wage bill. It's not just about selling out your stadium every week. It's about all of the other commercial stuff that they don't do and can't do. It's about the big money end of season tours and the NFL games and the big concerts and the commercial deals, and it's all that stuff. Does help. That's why the big German clubs don't completely crumble. It's also why the big German clubs sell all their best players to Bayern Munich or the Premier League, because they can't afford to pay them big salaries. Danny Ings is rubbish. He's just missed another absolute sitter. Don't put him on the thumbnail. I'm not having it. Almost every Premier League club has a billionaire owner now. Yeah, exactly. And all but 6 of them will be ruined if that billionaire leaves. Well, we've been knocked out of the FA Cup now as well. Yes, we'll sell him. I can't remember what we agreed with the board we'd sell him for. They're probably not going to like either of them. But we need to get rid of these players who don't want to be here. I think that's part of the problem. There we go. So we weren't allowed to sell him for the cheaper of the two. So if another team from London gets good owners and gets the Europa League places regularly, they can become sustainable forever, like City and Liverpool. I wouldn't have thought so. Who could it be? There isn't really another candidate for a 4th big London club. West Ham disqualified themselves from it by not having their own stadium. Fulham play in a park in front of a cardboard stand. Even Palace, I don't think Palace benefits from the London effect because it's in the wrong bit of London. Again, you're not going to have Beyonce playing in Crystal Palace. It's in the middle of nowhere. We talked about it literally in the last stream. I mean, if someone wants to pay his £3.2 million release clause, I'll drive him there myself. We don't use him. So I'm not offering him a new contract. I'll take that money, please. No, I think we're probably at the point where that big 6 is the big 6, and I just don't see it changing. Because the other thing that fans of other clubs don't want to hear is, in addition to all the commercial, this, that, and the other, and how is Garbett not registered? We've literally been playing him. I think he is registered. He is registered. I don't know why that was on there. Those big 6 have got the history as well. I think Newcastle or Sunderland could get into the similar big 6, but the other one has to collapse first. I don't see how one collapse. I don't think if Sunderland went out of business, I don't think Newcastle suddenly get 60,000 new fans. I don't think that's how it works. And I think the North East is still going to be the North East, and it rules them out of being big and properly competitive. Newcastle fan here. Absolutely can't see us getting into the top 6. Not big enough. can't leak into the PSR monopoly. Yeah, and as someone else said, it's Villa's problem as well. Yeah. Teams like that can flirt with it for a few years. But ultimately, we'll get to the point where one of the bigger clubs takes their best players off of them. Newcastle can't attempt to be in the conversation to being part of a big six when at the same time they're selling their best player to one of the big six because he's forced through the move. That tells you everything you need to know. Newcastle did win a trophy last season. Yeah, but I think I don't know if I think you've got football fan blinders on. It doesn't matter. It's not about winning trophies. We're talking about who are the big clubs, and that has nothing to do with who wins the trophies. When was the last time Arsenal won a trophy? No one's arguing they're not a big club. What position did Man United and Spurs finish in the league last year? No one's arguing they're not big clubs. It's not about winning the trophies. When we're not talking about who are the best clubs. We're talking about who are the big clubs. And I'm not saying I like the situation. It's just they were the teams that were in the position to capitalise when the Premier League era, the Sky Sports era, the internet era, when all that came in, when money exploded, they were the teams that were in the right place to benefit from the explosion. And now they're grandfathered in. They're the Super League 6. They're the ones now. They're the franchises. It ain't changing. The trophies made Arsenal, Liverpool and Man United the original big three. Yeah. And then it became about money. If the Prem was picked on size, who would be the 20 clubs? I couldn't do the 20 off the top of my head. I'd need the data. Anyone could work it out based on the data. But, yeah. Even if you were to do that, the bottom 10 of the Premier League could easily swap with any 10 from the Championship. And it would be fine. Go from stadium size down. It's not even that though, is it? Because on that basis, Sunderland are a bigger club than Chelsea, and they're obviously not. It's not just about stadium size. Again, you're not going to like it. Go by commercial revenue. Go in that order. Or come up with some kind of metric for pulling power as a club. Are you the kind of club that Isak signs for or leaves from? As an example. Is Leicester up there with Newcastle, Villa, West Ham? No, obviously not. That really demonstrates the whole winning trophies isn't really that relevant to the conversation. Leicester are forever a championship club in my eyes. They're just Leicester. Does size matter though? I mean, in terms of what we were originally talking about, sustainability of a club, yeah. If we're talking about which clubs are sustainable, it wasn't a willy waving contest. It wasn't a my club's bigger than your club conversation. It started with a am I happy with Peterborough being in League One forever? The answer is yes, and this is why. Because you move any higher up the pyramid, and it's not about football success, it's not about sustainability. It's about throwing cash around or being one of the big six who are grandfathered in. If you're bottom line, if you're not one of those big six, you have to operate at an extraordinary loss to compete, and you'll only compete short term until that money runs out. That's probably the best way to summarize it. The big six will always be up there. And if you want to be part of that, you can be temporarily, but it's going to cost you more money than your club will ever make. So you can only do it with a rich owner or a fluky player acquisition that you won't keep for long. Wouldn't Posh benefit from the windfall though? No. We'd be worse off. Because football clubs are run by idiots. There is no windfall. You spend more, whatever money you make from being in the Premier League, you spend more than that. Look at how much money Ipswich spent on players when they got promoted, only to come straight back down again. Look at how much money Forest have spent over the last couple of years, only to probably get relegated this year. There is no windfall. You end up spending more money than you ever made. Or do a Brighton and just hang around the six? No, Brighton have got a rich owner. When he leaves, Brighton go back down again. Brighton are absolutely not the exception to anything. They've had the same rich owner for quite a long time, but so did Charlton, so did Blackburn, so did Wigan. Wigan stuck around in the Premier League for like 10, 15 years. But eventually, the person who's spearheading it leaves. And then it all falls apart. Isn't Forest problem the current owner, though? I mean, it depends how you define a problem. Before that owner, they'd been in the second tier for 25 years. So define a problem. They're playing in Europe for the first time in 40 years. Have they got a huge problem? Depends on the lens you look at it through. Or are they experiencing their second little purple patch of excitement only to disappear back where they came from again for another 30 years? It's a long-term game, boys and girls. I've just oppressed every football fan. Oh, there really is no point trying. It's all already decided. Yeah, I'm afraid you just had to be in the right place at the right time. And Man City snuck in by the skin of their teeth. Because as demonstrated by Newcastle, 10 years later it doesn't work. Right, let's beat Millwall. Fellow Posh fan here. Personally would like to see us in this as a stable championship club, but wouldn't want us to go any higher. See, I mean, it's a lovely little dream scenario, but realistically, for the size of our fan base and the size of our club, we couldn't do that sustainably. We can't afford it. We'd maybe average 10,000 fans a week in the championship, which is not enough. We're not an interesting enough commercial prospect. We don't have the fan base. We're not sustainable at that level. That's why any time we've made it to the championship, at most we've stayed there 2 years and come back down, because we're not a big enough club to be sustainable at that level. So the only way Posh become a long-term mid-table championship team is to run up a load of debt. I don't want to do that. I'll stay in League One, thanks. What about Bournemouth? Yeah, when Bournemouth's owners go, they go back down. Bournemouth are no bigger than Posh. Bournemouth and Posh are basically the same club. They just had the rich owner. They fluked out with the good manager, which inspired bringing in which inspired a rich owner to come in. But yeah, Bournemouth. I mean, there's no way of saying when it will happen because we don't know when the owner will pull out. But I'm certain in my lifetime, Bournemouth will be back down in the same league as Posh again. Bournemouth's owners don't invest. I mean, that's just nonsense. Don't invest. How are they buying all these players? How have they done all the work to their ground? Bournemouth rake in massive player sales. What? And did those players just magically appear? Because eventually, even a club that's surviving on a nice transfer net profit, you just need one bad sporting director or one bad manager to have a couple of bad transfer windows, and all of a sudden that's gone. How did Luton do what they did a few years ago, then going from the bottom to the top? What? They're back down in League One. They had a good manager. They had a good run. You can have a good run. Leicester won the Premier League. It doesn't make them a big club. You can have a good run. But that doesn't make you a big club. There's no breaking into that big six. It's just not going to happen. Apparently, if Man City gets found guilty for their dodgy stuff, they're going to non-league. I mean, I thought that was already settled and isn't happening. But even if they did, they'd just go straight back up again with consecutive promotions and be back in the Champions League in 5 years. It would be a temporary blip. I mean, we saw it happen in Scotland with Rangers. They had to start again from League Two, didn't they? And they just went bum, 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 straight back to being in a 2-horse race every year again. It was a temporary blip because they were one of the two big clubs and it's unbreakable. Yeah, never mind the fact that they won't relegate Man City anyway because of the power they've got as one of the big six. They'd relegate Forest. They'd relegate Everton. They'd relegate Villa. They ain't relegating Man City because they're Man City. We're not getting into the Rangers thing. It was an example. I don't need to hear all the nonsense from the Celtic fans or whoever else gets upset about it. Doesn't matter what the paperwork was. They're still Rangers. They're still the same club. They're still the same fans. It's still the same ground. It's still the same badge. It's still Rangers, like it or not. Look at Blackburn, spent big to get to win the Premier League. Their players leave and their championship at best now. Yeah, Blackburn were never a big club. They were just a club who had loads of money to throw around. Out of interest, who are the top six? We're not talking about the top six. We're talking about the big six. And you know who they are. I don't need to tell you. That's how you know they're the big six, because you know the six I'm talking about. Because you know they are the big six. We're not talking about top six. We're talking about big six. You know who they are. I don't need to tell you because you know. And if you're going to pretend you don't know, have a guess. Who do you think they are? Play the game. I don't need to play the... You know who they are. Your big six are 7 clubs. Man United, Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs. 6. They're the 6. Everyone knows they're the 6. We did a football. Yeah. Topher sent me a message the other day saying, let's not spend the whole of the next stream talking about if FM26 is good or not. Is this what you wanted? Are you happy now? This is what you asked for. Did you ever actually show how to get the LOLLUJO squad view? I did. Like 2 hours ago I did. Where's my mouse pointer gone? There it is. What's the big 6 of mustard? There's just a big 1 of mustard. Coleman's English mustard. Everything else is just like a yellow sauce. There you go. I said it. Have that, France. Newcastle are a bigger club than Tottenham. You know that's not true. You just know that's not true. This is the problem with trying to have any kind of discussion with football fans. They're too emotional about it. It's not about who's the better team. It's not about who's the most successful team. It's not about who has won the most trophies, who's had the best players. It's not even about who's got the most history. It was literally about who were the big 6 when the money came, and they were able to spin that up into the best facilities, the best stadiums, the best commercial structure, the best like advertising deals. Who were the ones who were able to establish themselves as huge global brands, unbreakable, unruinable brands? And you know who those 6 are. And you know it can't change. That's completely different to the big 6. It's not. That's literally how I defined it an hour ago. That's literally what we're talking about. Do you think it's the same in other leagues, such as... But yeah, I think it probably is. I think most leagues have got their unbreakable, like, dominating teams. Right, who are we playing? Bolton. For goodness sake, let's beat them. They're a big club, aren't they? Lovely ground. Right, I don't know why Quick Pick is suggesting we play him. What is gone on here? It suggested 2 very strange additions to that team. You know someone's trolling when they say this, the sentence, Everton are bigger than Spurs. And I say that with as much disdain for Spurs as I can muster. But to suggest that Everton are a bigger club than them in 2025 is bordering on insanity. Everton have more league titles than Spurs. Doesn't matter. That's not... It just doesn't matter. And if you don't see why it doesn't matter, you'll never understand. You're too blinkered with football fan eyes. Just show us my Spurs tattoo. I want to put my Arsenal shirt on. I feel ill at all the defending of Spurs that I'm doing. It's horrible. Kev just said league titles don't matter. They don't matter when you're talking about who the biggest clubs are. Because if they did, you'd all have to sit here and say, well, Leicester are a bigger club than Arsenal because they've won the league more recently. And anyone who says that is a lunatic. An actual lunatic. Mustard. English is the only mustard. I won't have it. Dijon can do one. Never seen Kev get so heated. I'm only playing. This is why I don't go to football matches. There's no reasoning with football fans. It's a very dangerous thing to say on a stream like this. Oh my word. Come on then. Football. Work the Space has lost his marbles and is streaming GeoGuessr. Goodness me. There you go. At least all I'm doing is saying football fans are nutcases. He's playing GeoGuessr. He's lost his mind. I love GeoGuessr. I had GeoGuessr Premium for years. I've streamed that quite a lot over the years. I'm not streaming it in the first 2 weeks of a new Football Manager game, though. When, regardless of what people will have you believe, interest in this game is close to an all-time high. Just to bring it back round to Topher's favourite topic. Jack's got to wait a couple of months for a tactic to download. Look, all I know is views are way up on my content. So you've either got to admit that there's a lot of interest in FM26 or I've got considerably better at making content in the last 2 years. So am I great or are people interested in the game? They're the only two explanations. Which one sticks in the throat less? I am great. I'll admit that. I am great. I just don't know that I'm greater than I was 2 years ago. I was great then. The important thing is we should all go and buy some biscuits from Sainsbury's tomorrow. Well, they're £1.25. Pickups. £1.25 on Nectar price. Go and get them. Get them in your face. They're delicious. Which ones have we not had this? We've not had a Choco Milk, have we? We're going to have one of them before the night is out. Right, come on. Let's have another football goal. It's time for us to start winning again. You're one of the few not constantly crying about the game, so people who also enjoy it flock to that. I mean, I'm happy to be that guy. I don't mind that being my position in the scheme of things. Probably shouldn't just call them all mental. There's too many people looking at me. Make some of them go away. I hate football fans. That did it. That's all you needed to say. I love FM26. I hate football fans. Buy my biscuits. There you go. Believe that is all the key messaging for tonight's stream. Ah! Kick him in the eye. Hideous. I am a biscuit shill. Absolutely I am. What are the big 6 biscuits? Pickup plus the 5 pickups you get in a box, and then an extra one from one of the other boxes. The big 6, obviously. If we upload our receipt, do you get a wedge of cash? If you upload your receipt, they're more likely to give me another wedge of cash in the future. My wedge of cash for this agreement is already arranged and wedged. But if you all upload your receipts and buy a load of biscuits, then opportunities for future wedges presumably increase. It's usually how these things work. And there's few things I like more than a future wedge. How much longer am I going to stream? Usually around 10 o'clock. Whether you like FM26 or not, it's much better than FC26 career mode. It's an absolute mess. See, you should send that to Sports Interactive and they could put that on the box, like a movie poster quote. Because that's how they should be selling it now. Look, we know we didn't knock it out of the park this time, but at least it's not FIFA. That should be how they're marketing it. There's your posture check. Honest answer on my part, Kev. I've always bought FM before release religious detail this one, so I'm watching the streams and videos to make a decision on what I do, if I buy or not, due to issues people have experienced. My recommendation then, assuming you're on PC, is download the demo and play it. There's a free demo. You can do 6 months on the demo for free. And then if you like it, use my affiliate link to buy it. If you're on console, I don't think there is a demo, so it's harder to do. But yeah, if you're on PC, there's a demo. You can download the demo and play it. I'm not telling you to stop watching, but you can download the demo while we're beating Bolton. Football. See, we're getting good again. We're getting our strikers back, and now we're getting good again. It's all we needed. Look at this cowardly flatback 7 as well. Please don't let them back in late on like we do everybody else. Fiddlesticks. Oh, it's disallowed. Good stuff. Have you had any issues making subs in-game? No. No. I've had relatively few issues, really. There you go. Number 3. Oh. Am I good at chess? Not really. I haven't studied it enough. Quite good at poker. Not chess, though. Look at us winning football matches again. We are doing that playoff charge. We're just doing it casually. But we are back up to 9th. Even after that rotten run of form, we're only 1 point outside of the playoffs. So, to all of you who said I wasn't very good at the game, bite my toenails. 7 unbeaten, 1 point outside of the playoffs. I am great. I am handsome. I've done most of that without a striker. Imagine how we'll be when we have a full complement of football boys again. Exactly. Bup, 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 bup. Beautiful. Right. Oh, reading. I don't even know who Joe White is. We've got too many players. Why did you let me sign so many midfield players? Whose idea was this? We've got so many players to sell in January. We're going to be busy Thursday night just selling everybody. Crawley 1-1 with Posh. I mean, it's only the Virtue Trophy, isn't it? So I don't really care. I haven't even looked at the team we're playing. I don't think there's anywhere I could have watched it. What team have we put out? Are we trying? No. I mean, straight away looking at that 11, we're not even trying. That is the reserves. So, who cares? That is the new manager looking at the other half of the squad that didn't beat Wimbledon 5-0 on Saturday. Yeah, we'll take that. Get some money in. Why not? We're going to have some money to spend in January, which is jolly good. Right, Ennis is a striker, right? I wish they would put it on so I could highlight that, and I want to know how good he is in that position. I guess I can look down here. So he's not quite as good as a striker as he is as a winger. But he... Okay, to be fair, we'll play Garbett up front. It'll be fine. It's on the Sky Sports red button, is it? I just don't care enough. I mean, if we end up at Wembley again, I'll go, but I just don't care enough at this stage of that competition. Is Bradley Eonvian still a thing? No, we let him go before the end of the window, and then I think he broke his leg. Do 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 do. Your boy Ivan Toney may be on his way to the Premier League. I saw that headline earlier. Didn't look beyond it. What has he decided he was going to try and go to the World Cup? Is that what it is? Oh, OBS is apparently broken. Are you lot still there? I just had a message saying OBS had disconnected. Are we there? Are we still there? Hello? Are we back? Let me try typing in chat. Yeah, OBS disconnected. That was weird. I got a message saying OBS had disconnected, and then it reconnected, and I don't think the stream ever properly went down. So that was a weird one, because it didn't completely crash. It just disconnected for 5 seconds. So YouTube never dropped, but Twitch did. That's very weird. Well, either way, it's all good. I said this to Matt. I say this to Matt every time he's here trying to fix things. He just needs to develop his own version of OBS. A piece of software for streamers that actually works. Because if you think about it, it is insane that all gaming content creation is basically being produced on a piece of free open source software that doesn't really work. Why are we all just... Why has nobody built a better alternative than OBS? OBS is dross. I definitely do look at the YouTube chat. Yeah, if anyone can do a better version of OBS, that would be super duper. Please and thank you. Now who's injured? Everyone's always injured. We're running out of players. Use Streamlabs. I mean, Streamlabs is literally OBS with a Streamlabs label on it. It's not different software. It's the Streamlabs white label version of OBS. It's the same software. Meld Studio isn't bad. I'll have to ask Matt about Meld. But OBS is bobbins. And it's insane that we all use it and just tolerate it because there's nothing better. I pay for all my other software. I don't need to use it because it's free. If there was a better solution that I had to pay for, I would pay for it. Doesn't Elgato have their own software? Not that has the same functionality, I don't think. I think the problem is because... Oh, crumbs. Has he been going to be sent off there? Maybe not. Because everyone uses OBS, everything is set up for OBS. Like things like the pickup animations that we had. They are OBS plugins. I don't think we could plug them into something else. So I think it's more to do with the fact that because everyone uses it, everything is built for it, so everyone has to keep using it. Is Twitch down? It went down for like 5 seconds. It's not down. If you really want to be watching on Twitch, you can just refresh over there and it should be fine. Or you can stay over here on YouTube and have a lovely time. Gatford's joined us over on YouTube at the moment, everybody. How exciting. Although now the Twitch chat hasn't refreshed for a while and I'm wondering if Twitch has gone down. I was redirected to Jack when your stream was down. Oh, God. Oh, God. Not Jack. Twitch is fine now. Okay. So I've got loads of people in the Twitch chat saying Twitch is fine, and I've got people in the YouTube chat saying Twitch is down. So it may be down for some people, possibly. For those of you it's working for, it's still working. If you are having problems, don't forget you can just watch on YouTube where it seems it's fine. Or you can refresh on Twitch. Do I get more money on Twitch or YouTube? I mean, in terms of like advertising money, YouTube, but more people subscribe on Twitch than become channel members on YouTube because it's more in the Twitch culture than it is the YouTube culture. So, I mean, LOLLUJO Live probably makes more money than LOLLUJO as a Twitch channel, I guess. It's not a million miles away. They're about the same. Ultimately, it doesn't really matter. Watch where you want to watch. That's why I stream on both. It's not. There's not enough of a difference between the two for me to have any preference. Believe me, if I had a preference, I'd only be streaming on that one. To force you into my preference, because I am a monster. Yeah, Topher likes YouTube because he gets paid for that one. Topher doesn't make any money from Twitch. He likes people to watch on YouTube. Right, come on. Drag yourselves back into the football match. I just started a new Twitch stream. I mean, I didn't. Your OBS just disconnected for a minute. It's still the same stream. I've still got the same timer ticking. It might show as 2 VODs afterwards, but you shouldn't be watching the VODs on Twitch anyway. That's what YouTube's for. So Topher gets paid. Topher likes getting paid. You're just obsessed, Topher. You should be doing this for the love. Is a comment lifted straight from my YouTube comments over the last few weeks. You shouldn't be interested in making money, Kev. My favourite one is, you should really be boycotting FM26 and refusing to make any videos on it. It's like, yeah, I'm going to boycott my job. Smart. Good talk. It's like if you work at McDonald's, deciding you're not going to go in anymore because you don't want to sell burgers because you're a vegan. Well, yeah, I won't be able to pay my bills, but at least the cows will be fine. Would you start to play FC career mode if you got paid 100k a stream? Yeah, obviously. I mean, there's very little I wouldn't do for 100k a stream. Let's not get into the everybody has a price rant, but there's very little any of you wouldn't do for £100,000 a stream. Yeah, for 100k a stream, I would literally just sit in the middle of Leicester Square, and you lot could just queue up and punch me in the face for 3 hours a stream. I'd do that for 100k a time. That's fine. I'd certainly play a different computer game. Would I sit naked in London for 100k? Yeah. Obviously. If there's no repercussions, I'm not going to get arrested. But, yeah, of course I would. Just like you would. We all would. Anyone who says they wouldn't is a liar. Thoughts on the Odo, Movasil, Poku and Ricky link-up days? I mean, even that was a second-rate attack. That wasn't... I mean, I'm a Mikhail Smith, McLean, Boyd, Tomlin. That's a front four. Don't know that they all ever played together. Tomlin might have come after Mikhail Smith left. I can't remember. I think they were together. But yeah, you're not going to convince me that last season's attack was anywhere near the heights of Posh attacks over the years. I'm not getting humiliated like that for 100k. Yeah, you are. Of course you are. Who cares about being humiliated? It's 100 grand. Do you realise what you could do with 100 grand? How life-changing it would be just to get 100 grand for just sitting there naked for a bit. I genuinely don't understand how some brains work. If anyone would have an issue with that, it's like, yeah. I've literally done a hot tub stream in the past. I've you know, the only bit you haven't seen is my wiener. I've made videos on holiday this year of me, like, swimming in the sea, nips on show and everything. It's like, yeah, I mean, the only thing you've not seen is my wiener. It's not that small that I don't want you to see it for 100 grand. So yeah, if anyone wants to get 100 grand together, we'll do Badger Licking live. And you won't find many things I won't do. Just like I wouldn't find many things you won't do if the money was actually on the table. People talk a good game, but in reality, most people would do most things for that kind of money, even if they won't admit it while it's theoretical. If the money's actually there on the table, you'd do most things. Wow. A week before we can register Ings, he's got a virus with no specified return date. Fantastic. We're never going to see Danny Ings. Eat poo. I wouldn't eat poo for 100 grand. There you go. So there are. I bet there'd be a price where I would. Yeah, it'd be really unpleasant. But obviously there'd be a price where I would. Because it's only temporary unpleasantness, isn't it? You haven't talked about the game in like 2 hours. I can only assume you're new if you were expecting me to talk about the game. You can all see the game. I trust people to be able to see the game, and I'll talk about other things. Alex, thank you very much for the 5 gifted. Everyone get your nuts out for Alex. What a hero. Lovely old stuff. Topher doesn't want us to play Badger Licking Live. I suspect Pickup won't be keen either, so we'll play Badger Licking Live another day. Yeah, if you want me to talk about the game, I upload daily on my main channel on YouTube. Streams are when I have my social time. What do I think of the tactic system? I think it's great. Huge upgrade. One of the few big upgrades on 26. I mean, ultimately, I think I've now made 56 FM26 videos. There's not a lot more to say that needs saying about this game. If anyone's watching and has some actual legitimate questions about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it, I'm happy to discuss it. But I don't think it's good content, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is... I've never watched a Zealand stream. I don't know what he does and why he gets so many views. But if he's genuinely sitting there and saying, right, well, I'm going to be starting Garbett up front today because of this, that, and the other, and I'm going to play him as a poacher because, and as a whatever OCF is because, and I think if he's actually talking through all of that, God, I couldn't do that. It's so boring. It's so boring. And really illustrates the whole people want different things out of the game side of things, I guess. He genuinely does that. What a boring man. But obviously there's people out there who lap it up. Each to their own. Posh have scored. Hooray. On streams, he talks about FM 35% of the time. I probably talk about FM 35% of the time. I'm just not talking about the minute detail of what's currently going on in game, but I can talk about FM generically. Like we've talked this evening about a bad run of form. We've just did a football goal there. We've talked about how to set up the squad view. We talked a bit about Football Manager. We talked about players being unhappy and having too many midfielders and my squad is too big. I talk about FM plenty. It's all I do it's all I do all day. I'm not going to talk about it all evening as well. If anyone's ever watched my Lego streams, I never talk about Lego in them. I just chat. I'm just here for a chat. It's an IRL stream with a game in the background. If that's not what you're here for, watch the main channel. It's all game all the time. That was nearly a beautiful goal. How old am I? 27. Can we talk about who's the best band in the world and why it's Metallica? I don't think I could name a Metallica song. I haven't listened to any new music in 15 years. Don't really listen to any music at all. And don't like any band where you can have... Okay, here's a sweeping statement you'll all hate. If it's possible to get a denim jacket with the band's logo on the back, I'm not going to like that band. I can't think of an exception to that rule. Younger than Rooney should have been the answer. I know. I still can't believe that man's younger than me. I won't have it. Kev doesn't watch Stranger Things. I don't watch Stranger Things. I don't really watch anything. I literally am quite a boring man. I play Football Manager, I build Lego, and I read books, and I make YouTube videos. And that's about it. I play Pokemon. I watch the same 5 or 6 American sitcoms on loop. Yeah, I don't like toxic masculinity at all. It's not my thing at all. I'm definitely not a man's man. Which sitcoms? Can we just celebrate Matthew Garbett being a striker first? His name is in the stream title. Is it? I certainly reference him. I call him our best player. I don't mention him by name. That's good because he is now playing as a striker and scoring. So the sitcoms that go on a loop: The American Office, Parks and Rec, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Superstore, Good Place. Am I missing any? I haven't watched Suits for a while, actually. No, not 2.5 Men. Peep Show and Friday Night Dinner make it in sometimes. I tried Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, didn't like it. 30 Rock I haven't watched for about 10 years. Frasier I don't really like. In-Betweeners I've not watched for a long time. Yeah, it's basically the same ones. You read. I do read. I can read. I can read. Nah, not really a Big Bang Theory. Always Sunny, yeah, Always Sunny I watch. Yeah, that one. Or I've not seen the most recent series. Yeah, New Girl I quite like. Yeah, New Girl's quite good. Modern Family's okay. It's not really in the rotation. I have seen it, but it's not really in the rotation. Get Ings in at 7. He's still not registered in the squad. We can't register him until January. Like all the ones you mentioned except Peep Show. I don't even watch wrestling anymore. I listen to wrestling podcasts. I haven't watched very much wrestling at all in the last year or two. I just don't have time. There's too much. Wrestling got to the point where there was too much of it to keep up with. Wrestling was fine when WWE was rubbish, so I only had to watch the pay-per-views, and AEW just had one show a week, and I'd watch New Japan in January. At that point, I could keep up with everything. But then WWE started getting good again, and it was like, I just don't have time for Raw and SmackDown, but now I can't keep up with what's going on. And then AEW added a second show and a third show, and they started increasing the number of pay-per-views, and then everyone good left New Japan, and it just changed to, there's too much. There's too much, and it's not quite what I want either. I want like 2017 wrestling. No, because then AEW wasn't a thing. I want like peak. I suppose I do. I want peak Bullet Club, like Cody Rhodes, Adam Cole, Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Bullet Club. I want that era of wrestling forever. What wrestling podcast are you listening to? People won't like it. I actually pay to subscribe and have done for like 10 years to the Wrestling Observer with Dave Meltzer. I read his newsletter. I listen to his podcasts. I know people don't like him. I mean, I like him. He's just an old man. He's like American me. He's an old autistic man. Doesn't realise he's autistic, but can tell you the attendance of a wrestling show from 1963. And have you seen a picture of that man's office? My word, he is autistic with bells on. And I quite like him. So I listen to that. He does like, him and Brian Alvarez do like 4 or 5 shows a week, and I listen to them all, and I really like it. Peep Show's class, ban that person. Agreed. Do you know why my game won't run in 60 FPS on full screen, but runs sweet on windowed. I don't know that. It might be to do with your monitor settings, but I don't know for sure. I preferred AJ Styles Bullet Club. Yeah, that was pretty cool as well. But I just, for me, the best wrestling content ever was like Peak being the elite. I liked that more than the actual wrestling, and that was at its best with when Cody was on it with the Young Bucks, and Adam Cole was still around. That was wrestling at its absolute best, and you'd have What Culture with King Ross reacting to it all. That was wrestling at its absolute best. Yeah, Black and Gold NXT was great as well. Yeah. That was all happening at the same time. You had all the cool Bullet Club stuff going on at the same time as NXT being fantastic. And that was all you needed to watch. You didn't have to watch the weekly shows. Like, I didn't watch NXT weekly. I would watch the NXT takeovers and being the elite. And that was enough. It was brilliant. Right, boys and girls, I think it's time for one more biscuit. Don't you agree? One more biscuit giveaway. So let's get my biscuit screen back. We're going to eat the one that I've not already eaten. But first, let's do another giveaway. So I'll tell you when the giveaway is live. It'll just be a second. You'll enter the same way as before. So it's going to be another pickup giveaway, which is going to be live now. So ! ticket in the chat. I am going to try. I had one of these earlier. This is going to be my fourth pickup of the day. A choco and milk one. And these are awesome. I think these are the ones that Dave was carrying around his mouth. They came through the door and Dave just had them. They came in a jiffy bag and Dave had them. If you're on YouTube and you want a chance to win a biscuit, come over to Twitch, because that's where the giveaway is happening. And these are the biscuits you are in with a chance of winning. An excellent pickup, which has only been slightly mashed up by Dave. Best thing about it, the chocolate is between the two biscuits, if it ever focuses, so you don't get sticky chocky fingers, which is great. Ideal for gaming. Currently £1.25 on a Nectar special price in Sainsbury's. Oh, wow. So it's got the milky bit in between the chocolate as well. I don't know if that's going to focus. There you go, look. That's awesome. I just kind of ate it whole earlier and didn't notice. It's good stuff. And if you buy some from Sainsbury's, where they're currently £1.25 on a Nectar price, and keep your receipt, you can then do ! pickup in the chat on Twitch, upload your receipt, and you'll be in with a chance of winning some pickup merch as well, which is always good stuff. But yeah, giveaway is almost at the point where we are ready to draw the winner. We're just waiting for the biscuit klaxon to go off. Is there a klaxon? I don't know if anybody knows. Is that a klaxon? Biscuit sounds, biscuit sounds, biscuit sounds. Right, let's close the giveaway and draw the winners. So again, it's going to be two winners. So close the giveaway and we will draw winner 1, which is Suter Who, and winner 2, J-Wig, and Topher will be in touch and arrange for your biscuits to be sent out to you, assuming you're in the UK. If you're a non-UK dwelling rascal, you won't get any biscuits. Topher will have them sent to his own address and he'll eat them and then send you a video of him eating all 5 of them consecutively as your punishment for not being in the UK. But thank you again to Pickup for sponsoring the stream. This isn't the end of them. They're going to be back a few more times over the next few weeks as well. And I mean, Pickup, don't listen to this bit. I know for some of you the sponsorship stuff can be annoying. Was it more or less annoying than that 6 months earlier this year where I didn't stream at all? Because that's what happens if we don't have sponsors when new game hype dies down. So, you know, if you enjoy the stream in general, enjoy and support the sponsors. They're what keeps the stream alive. So thank you to Pick Up for sponsoring, and thank you to everybody to getting involved in the excitement of me eating a biscuit. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Far less annoying than you not streaming. Exactly. And that's the attitude to take with it. How can you hate free bickies? Exactly. Nobody can. And these ones are delicious. I'm saving the second half of this one to have with my Ovaltine that I'll be making after the stream, because I usually have a biscuit with my Ovaltine when I'm such an old man. I'll finish the stream, I'll make a nice cup of Ovaltine or sometimes a mint tea. After 3 pickups, maybe tonight's a mint tea night rather than a malty chocolate drink. But I'll make my beverage, have a biscuit or two, and go and read my book in bed. I think in the interests of my new svelte figure, I should probably make that biscuit my last biscuit of the day. We'll make that one last. Do I like semolina or tapioca? I feel like this is a trap, but I can't work out why. They're like rice pudding, aren't they? Aren't they? Is that what they're like? I feel like they're for old people. Wayne Rooney would know all about them. I'm like a bit before my time. I think they're like rice pudding, in which case, yes, I probably do. An 80s school dinner flashback. I was never a school dinner's kid. I was pack up all the way. Marmite and lettuce sandwiches. Lovely stuff. Right, one more game. Let's beat Wigan. You'll be happy to know McDonald's lost 4-0 tonight. I am pretty happy to know that, actually. That is pretty cool. I think this is our last game before the January transfer window opens, which sets us up perfectly for Thursday night stream for 2 reasons. Reason 1, we can finally sell off all these want-away players and sort the dynamics out a little bit. But reason 2, we'll be able to register Danny Ings and he can actually play more than one FA Cup match in Thursday's stream if he can get himself fit. So there's going to be transfers and shenanigans on Thursday night, which will be when the next stream is. How much would you hate it if McDonald's offered you a job in Non-League Legend and you had to go? A minimal amount? I think I'd quite like it, actually, because content-wise, I think it would be funny. Because obviously, it would play into the story. We talked about it right at the start of the stream. I'm very much of a it's just a computer game attitude and have no issue with managing clubs in-game that I hate in real life. But I'd certainly play up that I had an issue if I was managing them in Non-League Legend. And yeah, if I had to go and work with them, I'd find a way to go and work with them. If they invited me down for a tour, I would say, I mean, I'll come. I hate you, but I'll come. And I think it would be quite a funny video. It depends. I don't know anything about them as a club other than they stole a different club. Which I would have to make a point of in the video. But if their media person decided to play along and offered to bring me down, and I'd absolutely go and get involved. I can separate games from reality. And I can separate my own personal feelings from content and make a fun video, even if it's with a club I don't particularly want to make a video with. I mean, I've done a match day vlog from Spurs before, when I managed them in Non-League Legend. Oh, how is that disallowed? What's that disallowed for? Yeah, I would say yes to Cambridge. I'd say yes to Northampton, who are even bigger enemies than Cambridge. Yeah, absolutely. No issue. It's never come up, but if it did, it would be funny. It'd make for good content. I'd quite like Cambridge or Northampton to offer me the job and me have to go through the pain of managing them. Imagine what the job hunting would be like in Northampton. Not the job, sorry, the house hunting in Northampton. It would be hideous. I would say some. I would have to edit it. I'd have to take out some of the swears. Every time I drive past, I can't even say it, the place where they play, I just boo spontaneously and I get so cross. Why do you have to do that so loud? Because I saw the sign that points to their horrible little Subbuteo stadium. Their little filthy patch of grass where they desecrate the beautiful game. So I have to boo. How much of a fun matchday vlog would that be? It would be great. Would you wear an MK Dons shirt for an Onyx Legend video if you're managing them? I've worn an MK Dons shirt at an MK Dons match before. As a Twitch, what was that for hitting 2,000 subscribers or something? It was a Twitch stretch goal we had. So I've done that before. Been there, done that. Literally had the t-shirt. Yeah, there is a matchday vlog of me and Topher at MK Dons. It was when Topher was working there as a steward years ago. So he got me in cheap because he worked there. And yeah, it was a lovely day out. Have we got a last minute winner in us? What do you think? I think we have. I think you'd look for properties in Peterborough and say that's as close as you'll allow yourself to get to Northampton. I'd live in Milton Keynes. It's got a Lego store. That's near Northampton. I don't know what happened to the MK Dons shirt. Did I give it away or did I sell it? I don't think it's still stinking up my storage unit. It might have gone on eBay. I might have given it away. I don't remember what happened to it. It's certainly not in my house. Engulfed in flames. Maybe. Right, there you go. We have finally made it to the start of the January transfer window. I gave it away in the comments. Okay, that sounds about right. Sounds like something I'd do. I am a nice guy. People pretend I'm not, but I'm lovely. And we're just waiting for the transfer window to open. And then Thursday night is going to be all transfers all the time, boys and girls. Hearts are chasing my right back. There you go. The window is open. We've got £1.7 million to spend. Loads of spare wage budget. We are going to have a happy fun time. And in fact, now we've sold a few of the fringes, things might be getting even happier. How much did we pay for him? They've offered 1.1 million. It doesn't say how much we paid for him. That feels like an oversight. I don't know how much to sell him for because I don't know how much I bought him for. That would smash Hearts'... See, getting back to big clubs, that tells you Hearts are definitely not. If buying a player for less than £1 million from League One in England smashes the club's transfer fee record, my goodness. I kind of want to let it happen because it's funny. How do I find out how much we spent on him? If we go back to last year, we bought him for 725,000. So he may become unsettled if he's not allowed to speak to them. Well, persuade to stay. Let's agree a price with him. The price I want for you is £3 million. £2.5 million. £1.9 million. And that means we can reject and worry about the rest of it on Thursday. Boys and girls. Yeah, actually, I will register Ings before I forget. That is a good shout. Where's registration? There it is. I knew where it was. I was playing. I was just faking that I didn't know for effect. There you go. Dings is in. He is injured currently. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought? Right, boys and girls. Topher's going to find someone to raid if you're watching on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, we'll be saying goodbye here. We will be back Thursday with another stream. Obviously, highlights of this one will be out on LOLLUJO Live over the next few days. Non-League to Legend, 4 p.m. on the main channel. Every day this week as well. But for now, I will say toodle pip. Thank you for watching. Thank you to Pickup for sponsoring the stream. Thank you to all of you for playing along and forcing me to eat multiple biscuits. And I'll see you again very, very soon. Toodle pip. Bye-bye. Biscuits are great. Biscuits are great. Biscuits are great.